This evening, rather than the introduction of new taxes in the past 2 years, the coalition government has in fact reduced existing ones. So says Finance Minister Winston Jordan. It seems like the year-end deadline will be met for works on the expansion of the Chedi Jagan International Airport to Mary. Popular names have been mentioned as connected to a huge cocaine bust by the Customs and Anti-Narcotics Unit last Friday. Mother's Day reunion at the cemetery, quite a prevalent pastime these last few years in Guyana. In the region, the main opposition party in St. Lucia will hit the streets in protest on Wednesday. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump is about to embark on something unusual.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Granville Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with Basil Bradshaw.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel as well as our website safetvguyana.com. Join us. Minister of Finance Winston Jordan has said the APNU AFC government has not introduced any new taxes in the country since in government for 2 years, but has analyzed the existing taxes and reduced them. Andrew Weeks reports that Mr. Jordan has also stated that if in the review VAT on private tuition has not worked, they will get rid of it.
In the case of the value-added tax from 16% to 14%. And that 14% now puts us around the middle, or what is the general average in the Caribbean. Few countries have a value-added tax that is lower than 14%. Last year, Trinidad lowered theirs to 12, I think 12.5 or 12%. And I think Bahamas has one that is 7.5% or something. But very few countries. Now, have countries that have VAT or a similar VAT that is far higher than Guyana's 14%. Jamaica, I know for sure, has what they call a general consumption tax, which is similar to the VAT. And theirs is 16.5%.
Minister of Finance Winston Jordan making the case for the government on taxes. He also stated that the government has raised the threshold for VAT.
That is, who will be able to apply VAT from 10 million to 15 million. Okay? So that those who are under there, it's not that they don't have to pay VAT anymore, but the GRA would not be paying attention much to them. They'll be paying those who. And that was also found that roughly 80% of the people who pay the VAT were earning 50 million and above. So it's best you concentrate on those rather than concentrating on all these people that cluttering up the system, so to speak.
When asked if the people of Guyana had needed a reduction in VAT, knowing the economic situation in the country, Jordan said,
well, look, let us say generally the argument in the literature is, if you must put a VAT, you have it at a low rate, but on a wide as base as possible. In other words, then, there must be very few exemptions. Trinidad, in reducing their own to 12, widened their base so wide that there was a lot of consternation in Trinidad because it went on baby foods and all kind of story. There's VAT on baby foods in Trinidad now. We don't have a VAT on baby foods. You know, so yes, they don't have a VAT on private tuition, but we have one on private tuition. But you do that so you don't have to put a VAT on baby foods or baby diapers or old people's diapers or whatever the case may be. You know, yesterday I gave the typical example that got lost in all of this. When I met the Georgian Chamber of Commerce last year in Judy Body debate, one of the things was 2 women, by the way. Very good. It was one of the best meetings I had, to be quite honest. I wish it can keep it, you know, after that. And one of the things they had on their list for me to do is to remove the VAT on women's feminine products. I didn't know that they were paying VAT, but they were vociferous about it. They thought it was unfair and so on and so forth. So I said to them, okay, I will do it. In doing that, government lost $720 million in revenue.
When further asked why he decided with cabinet to put VAT on private tuition, Jordan responded.
The $250 billion budget that we have for 2017 is underfinanced by $38 billion. That means I have to go borrow $38 billion from abroad or from locally. Okay? So even with the VAT on private tuition, which we have on average conservative estimate will bring in $350 million. I remove that. All I do is increase how much I have to go borrow.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Sri Lanka has a similar deficit problem like us. And by the way, they also have a VAT on private. They have a VAT on private education. We have a VAT on private tuition.
Okay.
Private, the difference. Because all the other education materials, both public and private schools enjoy exempt on them. All the rulers, books, erasers, sharpeners, all those things are VAT exempt.
Okay.
It's just the private tuition that is attractive. And before I leave you, I must say again, no less a person than the President, no less a person than the Prime Minister, myself, have indicated at every budget session, we review all taxes. We find that there is a need to remove the VAT on the tuition because we either have been able to collect substantial revenues based on the existing ones, or that in truth that it's not a tax that we should go with. We will do so at that particular time when the data is available for analysis and decision making.
Okay.
Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thank you, Andrew. Works on the Chedi Jagan International Airport expansion project are expected to finish by its end-of-year deadline. George Gonzalez has more on the issue.
Works are apace at the Chedi Jagan International Airport extension/expansion project. The multi-million US dollar construction project is expected to finish by its completed deadline of December of this year, according to Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson. Because of the rapid pace at which the contractors would like to move, the construction may cause some inconvenience to the traveling public.
In the coming few months, there will be an increased amount of activity, particularly in the terminal buildings, which you will see, and it may cause a bit of inconveniences to the traveling public.
For example, while renovations of the existing terminal are in place, operations will be moved into a temporary terminal. During the media update of the CJIA expansion project, CHECL signed a contract with BK International Incorporated for the supply of stones for the CJIA expansion project. Minister Patterson explained that the ministry is currently in consultation with the Ministry of Business, and it was agreed that BK International Incorporated is the most qualified of local companies and will be supplying 50,000 tons of stones for the expansion project. At the current pace, they will soon expend the full budgeted allocation for the project. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Gregory Vaughn, noted that the majority of the funding for the project is from foreign investment. Thus far, they have expended $85.1 million of the budget. If need be, they will request more funding for it.
Total to date of 85.1 million. So that is where we stand in terms of our costs. As Minister said earlier, we are almost close to what we would have budgeted for 2017. Therefore, there is a possibility we may have to go for a supplementary.
Works on the runway's northeast expansion are 80% complete and 60% on the southwest side. Also, construction is almost halfway done on the new terminal itself. Vaughn explains that work crews have anticipated that weather may be an issue as the May-June rains continue. The temporary terminal should go into use by the end of June, and the new terminal itself should be ready just in time for Christmas.
Thanks, George. Guyana's lead drug enforcement agency, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, is seeking the whereabouts of popular local superbike racer Stephen Vera, sawmill owner Narain Lal, and West Coast Demerara businessman Tazim Ghafoor. The three are being sought by the agency for questioning in connection with Friday night's 186-pound cocaine find in local timber worth over 550 million Guyana dollars that was being prepared for export to the USA. In a statement, Kanu explained that on Friday, its ranks conducted a search at the parapet in front of the premises of one Aki Mohammed at 227 Zilat, East Bank, Essequibo, and found the truck laden with several pallets of 1x6 dressed lumber prepared for export to the USA. Several boards were drilled randomly and revealed a whitish substance suspected to be cocaine. The truck, its driver and porters were escorted to Kanu headquarters, where a detailed search of the cargo was completed. According to the agency, each of the compromised boards had a dugout cavity with vacuum-sealed plastic packets containing the substance. The truck driver, the porters, and well-known local race car driver Nazim Ghafoor were all arrested and remain in custody. The sawmill owner, Narain Lal, is listed as the shipper of the timber, but checks to his house revealed that he is out of the country. The agency says it intends to seek official wanted bulletins for the three. Coming up on Headline News after the break, brand new laptop computers worth over $3 million donated to President's College, and a few hours in the cemetery to commemorate Mother's Day.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
It's that special time of year again, and she deserves it. So shop now at Colors Boutique on Rock Street for Mother's Day and enjoy 10 to 40% discount on ladies' footwear and selective clothing. We also carry a wide range of gift sets, perfumes, and so much more. Colors is the place to shop for Mother's Day.
Guyana! Guyana!
The Central Housing and Planning Authority, under the patronage of the Government of Guyana, brings to you Housing Solutions 2017 and Beyond Expo, a model village of modern, stylish, and affordable housing designs. Prospective homeowners, here is your opportunity to engage with the banking and other financial institutions as well as insurance companies to discuss available financing options. The public will experience and enjoy wholesome entertainment for the entire family and stay with the flavor of local and foreign cuisine as well as beverages at the food court. So tell a family, tell a friend, and come visit Model Village. Housing Solutions 2017 and Beyond opens on Friday, May 26 at 15 hours and runs from May 27 to 29. Time 11 to 22 hours each day at the Perseverance Housing Development Site on the east bank of Demerara. Not too sure where that is? Just follow the Massey and Princess Hotel Road. This event is sponsored by Geico Construction, Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, Republic Bank, Turganol, New Building Society, and Courts.
Expo, be there.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town. Served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
Join us at Clearance on Friday, May 12th for our Mother's Day sale. Get your mom her perfect outfit at Clearance at 15 to 50% off. From dresses to suits to casual outfits, handbags, shoes, and much, much more. All at jaw-dropping discounts. So don't forget the Mother's Day sale on Friday, May 12th at Clearance. Clearance, always keeping you in style.
Guyana, get ready. It's the biggest album launch by a Guyanese artist. It's the launch of the album You by Saiku, featuring the hit songs Pillow Could Speak,
If my pillow could speak, it would tell you how I wish.
Mess to a Messenger,
From a miss to a messenger. Mama used to pray and say blessing Jah.
and the title track, You.
I need you, I need you.
20th May, GFC Ground Borda. Guest artist Kevin Downswell, Ada Boafo, Prodigal Son, Anil Aziz, and many more. Entry free with the purchase of the original album. Children under 10 free.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
President's College today received 17 brand new Dell laptop computers valued at $3.4 million Guyana dollars. Andrew Weeks tells us that the gift was from the Chief Executive Officer of Caring for Others Incorporated from Atlanta, Georgia.
Caring for Others, Inc., Guyana has done it again, and the students of President's College can say they have an addition of computers to help them with their IT studies. Students, members of the Board of Governors, and teachers were in the cafeteria waiting for the team for the handing over ceremony. Here is Principal of President's College, Caroline Canterbury.
We have here with us representatives of the board, Mr. Donald Ainsworth and Mr. Ernest Elliott, and we also have a special lady in our midst. You would have met her sometime last year when she made a handsome donation to President's College, right? That some students are benefiting from to date. And that's Ms. Shockley and her team, and they're here again with us this morning to make a presentation of computers for you. And so now you understand why it's worth the wait.
The Dell laptop's computer came with bags and all the other apparatuses inside and has a value of 17,000 US dollars or 3.4 million Ghana dollars. There were two representatives of the Board of Governors of President College, Ernest Elliott and Donald Ainsworth. Speaking on behalf of the Board of Governors, Donald Ainsworth said that President College was partly developed on gifts and donations from a wide cross-section of Guyanese.
Volunteers from all these communities, neighbor, even some people from Georgia will come at the weekends and clear up this place. The first of the food that was prepared here for our students in 1985 was as a result of the work of volunteers coming in and working on the farm, dealing with the animals and so on. The essential thing is for us to recognize that as a small community of the college, we will be trying to give you the best quality of education is available, that you have a responsibility to treat your education with care, do the best you can, and work towards the development of this country.
Mr. Ainsworth thanked Eslyn Richmond Shockley for her donation and reminded the students that wherever they may go, they must always remember that people are making sacrifices so that they could have gotten a decent education. Meanwhile, CEO of Caring for Others, Eslyn Richmond Shockley from Atlanta, Georgia, a Guyanese and a native of Nabacalis on the east coast of Demerara, in her remarks said
I grew up on Nabaclis. It means a lot to me to be here, my home village. Education is very important to me. I grew up very poor, but by the grace of God, I'm here today. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. But I want to say this to you: to whom much is given, much is required. Whenever you get your education, don't forget the bridge that you have crossed. Always remember to pay it forward. Give back to your community. But you don't have to wait until you graduate. There are so much things you could do around here. Help to plant the garden, help to clean up, the beautification. What a wonderful place this would be if we all do what we have to do.
In saying thank you for the gifts on behalf of the students is Vashti Rambaran, who said,
"We would like to thank the Caring for Others organization for this donation of yours, and I hope you trust that we will definitely use this in the enhancement of our studies, and we will take good care of these systems." Thank you very much.
In a subsequent newscast, we'll tell you why Shockley believes that a summit to address poverty in Guyana is badly needed. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks again, Andrew. Death is not enough to stop some people from their own type of reunion, as dozens of family members turned up at Lorpentir Cemetery to spend time with their dearly departed mothers. Here is George Gonzalez with the story.
Mother's Day is a day to celebrate our mothers. Phone calls, meals, and visits are some of the ways people spend time with their mothers on this day. Those whose mothers have passed are not excluded from this. Despite the heavy and unpredictable rainstorms, dozens of persons braved the rain to visit the graves of their dearly departed mothers, wives, sisters, and friends. Many of those present in Le Repentir find the ritual comforting and reflect on their loved ones lost.
I asked him why she had to go at such a young age, at 52, because we had so many plans together, you understand, but unfortunately things didn't get to work out, God knows best, that she had to pass on to such a young age.
She would say to me, "No cross, no crumb." So indeed, she might have been saying here today and always to me that, let go and let me, it is well with my soul. And I always try to, every time it comes over me, I said it is well with her soul. And I picture her smiling, looking down at me, saying to me, "I love you, take care, I'll guide you, I'll protect," the same thing that she said all the time.
I have a different understanding about this, the most people. And some people have said they didn't do it. Because I just tell them, my sister really didn't really do it. Because I'm going to tell you something. What we looking at this. But this is not really more.
For centuries, some day of reverence for mothers has existed in different forms throughout the world. But the modern holiday of Mother's Day was first celebrated in 1908 when Anna Marie Jarvis held a memorial for her mother at St. Andrew's Methodist Church in Grafton, West Virginia, United States. Jarvis stated that when she was a child, she overheard her mother praying for a creation of a day for children to celebrate mothers for all of the hard work that they do. After this memorial to her mother, she endeavored to make Mother's Day an international holiday. After years of petitioning Congress and local governments, in 1914, Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation designating the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. Most are unsure of when the custom of visiting late mothers on Mother's Day started in Guyana, but there is little doubt that this tradition will continue well into the future.
We heard you, George. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Dinesh Ramcharan, a porter of Tabatinga village, Lethem, who allegedly fell off a moving lorry about 17:30 hours on Sunday at Kumu Shortcut Trail, Lethem. Reports indicate the driver of motor lorry GTT 8398 was proceeding north along the trail with two occupants in the vehicle's cab, and Ramcharan perched on the roof of the cab. After driving about a mile on, the driver stopped and on checking, discovered Ramcharan not on the vehicle. He was later found on the trail motionless and was rushed to the Lethem Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The 23-year-old driver of Central Lethem is in custody assisting with the investigations. His blood alcohol was found to be above the legal limit. Also, an unemployed man who was a passenger in a public transportation vehicle was this morning arrested after an unlicensed pistol with 14 live rounds was found tucked in his pants waist. Police, acting on intelligence, stopped the vehicle on the Rhineville Public Road about 05 hours and conducted a search on the suspect and found a .32 Taurus pistol and ammunition. The suspect, who is 20 years old and hails from Mango Lane, East Rhineville, is being processed for court. Still ahead, that protest slated for Wednesday by the SLP in St. Lucia, and is Donald Trump really going to meet with autocratic leaders at the White House?
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Guyana, Guyana.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority, under the patronage of the Government of Guyana, brings to you Housing Solutions 2017 and Beyond Expo, a model village of modern, stylish, and affordable housing designs. Prospective homeowners, here is your opportunity to engage with the banking and other financial institutions as well as insurance companies to discuss available financing options. The public will experience and enjoy wholesome entertainment for the entire family and stay with the flavor of local and foreign cuisine as well as beverages at the food court. So tell a family, tell a friend, and come visit Model Village. Housing Solutions 2017 and Beyond opens on Friday, May 26 at 15 hours and runs from May 27 to 29. Time 11 to 22 hours each day at the Perseverance Housing Development Site on the east bank of Demerara. Not too sure where that is? Just follow the Massey and Princess Hotel Road. This event is sponsored by Geico Construction, Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, Republic Bank, Turganol, New Building Society, and Courts.
Expo, be there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Now opened, the new thriving Chinese restaurant Providence location. Perfect for large events, exquisite menus featuring traditional Korean, Chinese, and Western cuisine, elegant grand dining room, and seats for over 500 persons. Also additional seating on the upper flat, luxurious VIP rooms, and an elevator for your comfort. The new thriving Chinese restaurant second location above Massey Supermarket, Amazonian Mall, Providence. For reservation, call 623-4097 or 657-9067.
In news from the region now, the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party is gearing up to take to the streets this Wednesday, immediately following the April 30 national protest march held against the proposed DSH Pearl of the Caribbean development. SLP General Secretary Leo Clark announced a May 17 date for the much-anticipated demonstration of their own. HTS News Force reports.
Sign up now for the Flow Sports Premier Pack to get the ultimate Premier League coverage this season, only with Flow.
The SLP has continuously reiterated its opposition to the project, which according to them will bring untold hardship to the people of the South as well as the fragile ecosystem. Next Wednesday's march is the culmination of 2 months of public meetings in various constituencies. As the day draws near, the main opposition is resolute in rallying the troops and calls on all concerned citizens to join them as they take to the streets of Castries. But of course, there has been criticism. Government supporters have accused the SLP of still being in campaign mode, almost 1 year after the June 6, 2016 polls. Labrie MP Honorable Alva Batiste says the opposition is doing the responsible thing. He notes that the opposition has held numerous press conferences to highlight theirs and the public's concerns over DSH and other issues. Since their calls have gone unheeded, the time has come for action.
The government refused to dialogue with the people of Uvot. We took time for us to respond to the people's call, because persons were of the view that immediately after elections they were being victimized and their lives were being destroyed. And we were just in Parliament, you know, as law-abiding citizens. But we have a responsibility to maneuver within the parameters of the law and within the parameters of democracy. But I did promise, and the party did promise, that the first thunderclap of the nation's discontent we would have engaged. I think that moment has come. The objective conditions have matured.
But it gets complicated. Less than 1 week following the SLP's announcement of a protest date, the United Workers' Party announced a public meeting in VA4 for May 17th as well. This meeting, scheduled for 7 p.m., would naturally coincide with the opposition party's Castries Market Steps meeting. It, however, appears there is another player in the game. An unknown group calling themselves VA4 Coalition of Stakeholders for Development has sprung up, announcing a 3 p.m. march in, quote, support of jobs and development for the South, end quote. This has led one observer to label May 17th Protest Wednesday.
They are trying to organize their own rally, as if we're in an election period, to try to see whether they can develop some support for their cause and for DSH, not via the agreement. Because if the agreement had something so good in it, they would have been picking up the agreement and actually quoting from the agreement as to why this DSH deal will be delivering the jobs to the people of the South. You listen to the talk shows, everybody who supports the VFCCCC in terms of opposing it will quote from the document as to why it's inimical. Nobody who supports DSH can come up with a similar position and read from the document indicating what is good for the people of the country. So that's why the debate today was postponed, so that they can run to Vieux-Fort and lie.
Honorable Baptiste adds that it would not hurt the government if they were genuine about the proposed benefits of the DSH project to quote the clauses from the purported document to justify their position to the public. Miguel Favre, HTS News Force.
And internationally, is there a case for President Donald Trump meeting with autocratic leaders at the White House? Let's follow BBC's Paul Blake, who is on the trail.
The president has not ruled out a face-to-face meeting. President Trump facing new controversy this morning for inviting Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte to the White House.
President Trump has a thing for strong men. He praises them, wants to meet them, invites some of them to the White House, even makes overtures to America's villain of the day.
Well, today the White House had to clean up after the storm that President Trump created.
But is this a moral outrage or is it a necessary evil?
Unfortunately, yes, we do have to deal with these governments, and many times we have to work and partner with them. We have interests in these parts of the world, and I think it's the right thing to do. It's not the easy thing to do, but it is the right thing to do.
So what does the Trump administration get by cultivating autocrats? Well, cooperation, it's hoped, on grand strategies such as isolating North Korea, pushing back on Chinese expansionism, and strengthening the coalition against the Islamic State group. And there is a human rights payoff. Embrace the Egyptian president at the White House, and he releases from jail an Egyptian-American charity worker. There is Bashar al-Assad, the one bad actor who stayed on Trump's blacklist, bombed in response to a chemical weapons attack. But that's the exception, not the rule.
One of the first things that I would do...
Still, haven't we seen this movie before?
Would you be willing to meet separately, without precondition, with the leaders of Iran, Syria, Venezuela, Cuba, and North Korea?
Senator Obama? I would. The notion that somehow not talking to countries is punishment to them is ridiculous.
Barack Obama did stretch out his hand to Iran and to Cuba. But here's the difference. He and other American presidents used the White House bully pulpit to champion human rights. Trump doesn't. And they didn't admire the tough guy qualities of authoritarian leaders. Trump does.
Vladimir Putin's comments about you?
Sure. When people call you brilliant, it's always good, especially when the person heads up Russia.
Well, I mean, also as a person that kills journalists, political opponents, and invades countries. And invades countries. Obviously, that it would be a concern, would it not?
He's running his country, and at least he's a leader.
So his approach looks tactical and transactional, based partly on instinct, which some argue, for whatever it might achieve, does also weaken America's moral authority.
And that's Channel 2's headline news for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find the Channel 2 headline news on Facebook, YouTube, and safeguyana.com. You can also tune in at 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast. Until then, I'm Basil Bradshaw, signing out from this newscast.